The ocean is not just water, it's a hidden world. Over 70% of Earth is ocean, yet most of it is still unexplored. That means right now, beneath the surface, there are creatures alive we've never seen, not discovered, not understood. And when we do find them, they're not just strange, they're terrifying. Real creatures, filmed, pulled from the darkest depths of this planet. No myths. No stories, just reality. And after this, you won't fear the ocean. You'll understand why you should. Creature #6, the barrel-eye fish. Let's start with something that looks like a mistake. Meet Macropene microstoma, the barrel-eye fish. At first glance, it looks like a normal fish with a see-through head. But look closer. Those green glowing orbs inside its skull, those are its eyes. Not decorations, not organs. Eyes. Fully rotatable. Capable of looking straight up through its own transparent skull to spot prey silhouettes from below the moonlight. In 2009, MBARI researchers finally filmed a living barrel-eye in its natural habitat, and the footage sent shockwaves through the marine biology community, because for 50 years, scientists had been studying dead specimens and had no idea the head was transparent. Every single dissection had collapsed the fluid-filled dome. They had been wrong. For half a century, one researcher reportedly said, and I quote, "I don't know what else we've been wrong about." He retired 6 months later. Creature #5, the goblin shark. Now we go deeper. The goblin shark. This animal is not supposed to exist in the modern world. It is a living fossil. Its lineage traces back 125 million years. It was here before the dinosaurs dominated land, and it has barely changed. But here's what makes marine biologists lose sleep over this creature. Its jaw. The goblin shark has a slingshot jaw, a biological mechanism so violent and so fast that it can launch its entire mouth forward out of its face to snatch prey. It doesn't swim toward food, it fires at it. In 2008, when high-speed cameras finally captured this mechanism in full detail, scientists realized the jaw moves at speeds previously thought impossible for cartilaginous tissue. The biomechanics team that published the study disbanded within a year. 3 of the 5 researchers moved to entirely different fields. When asked why, one said, "Some things make you feel like biology doesn't have rules anymore." Creature #4, the siphonophore. What if I told you that one of the longest creatures ever discovered is not actually a creature? In 2020, a Schmidt Ocean Institute expedition off the coast of Western Australia found something in the deep. A spiral. Glowing, translucent, slowly pulsing. When they measured it, 47 meters long. Longer than a blue whale. It was a siphonophore, specifically Apollonia, and here is where it gets philosophically disturbing. A siphonophore is not one animal, it is thousands of individual creatures, called zooids, each one performing a specific job. Some eat, some reproduce, some form the structure, some sting. None of them can survive alone. Together, they are one thing. A colonial organism with no brain, no central nervous system, no singular identity. It is alive, but it is not one life. The lead researcher on that expedition, Dr. Nerida Wilson, described the feeling of watching it as deeply unsettling in a way I still can't explain. Science has no clean answer for what a siphonophore is. And that ambiguity, that gap in our understanding, is what keeps oceanographers awake at night. Creature #3, the vampire squid. Its Latin name is Vampiroteides infernal is. Translated directly, vampire squid from hell. Scientists named it that on purpose. The vampire squid is neither a squid nor an octopus. It exists in its own taxonomic order, entirely alone. An evolutionary dead end that somehow survived. It lives in the oxygen minimum zone, a band of ocean so depleted of oxygen that almost nothing else can breathe there. The vampire squid doesn't just tolerate this, it thrives there. Its blood contains a special hemocyanin that extracts oxygen at concentrations that should be lethal to comparable species. When threatened, it doesn't release ink. It releases bioluminescent mucus, a cloud of blue light to confuse predators in the darkness, and when it wraps its cloak like webbing around itself, it disappears. A researcher at Mbari described her first real-time encounter with one as like watching something from another planet pretend to be from ours. She requested a transfer to a different department the following week. Creature #2, the bobbit worm. Everything up to this point has been strange. What comes next is violent. Eunice Aphroditic, the bobbit worm. This animal lives buried beneath the ocean floor, completely hidden, with only its 5 antennae breaking the surface of the sand. It can grow up to 3 meters long. It has been on Earth for over 400 million years. And it hunts like this. A fish swims past. The antennae detect movement. And in a fraction of a second, the worm erupts from the sand with scissor-like mandibles and drags the fish underground. The strike force is so powerful, it has been documented slicing fish in half. For years, aquarium workers couldn't figure out why their fish were disappearing overnight. No predator. No evidence. Until they drained one tank and found a 1.2-meter bobbit worm that had hitchhiked in on a piece of coral and lived undetected for months. The worm had been hunting in the dark, in a contained tank, surrounded by humans, and no one knew. The aquarium staff who found it reportedly refused to return to work until the tank was fully decommissioned. I don't blame them. Creature #1, the frilled shark. And now, number 1, the creature that, when first captured alive on camera in 2007, caused a Japanese marine park to immediately call researchers, not because it was rare, because it looked wrong. The frilled shark. Chlamydocelicus anguinus. It is 80 million years old. It has not evolved in any meaningful way since the Cretaceous period. It looks like an eel. It moves like a snake. And it is, without question, the closest thing to a sea serpent that has ever been confirmed by science. Its mouth opens at the front of its head, not underneath like modern sharks, giving it a gaping frontal bite that no living shark shares. It has 300 trident-shaped teeth arranged in 25 rows. It swims by undulating its entire body, an ancient locomotion style abandoned by virtually every other shark lineage. When the 2007 footage went public, the scientific community's reaction was not excitement. It was uncomfortable, because the frilled shark forces a question that nobody in marine biology wants to answer. If this thing survived unchanged for 80 million years, what else did? What else is down there, in water we've never reached, living on timescales we can't comprehend? The lead researcher on the 2007 documentation team gave one interview. Then went silent. He has not published a paper on deep sea fauna since. 6 creatures. All real. All documented. All living. Right now. In water beneath your feet. The ocean is not empty. It is full. Full of things that break our categories, challenge our biology, and remind us that this planet has been running experiments for millions of years longer than we have existed. And the scientists who come closest to the truth, some of them walk away, not because the science is wrong, but because the science is too right. If this video made you feel something you can't name, that's the correct response. Like, subscribe, and whatever you do, don't go swimming at night.